Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to AstroEdify. Today we are going to discuss about Panch Mahapurush Yoga and what are the conditions under which this particular yoga occurs in anyone's horoscope. What are the results of this particular yoga that we are going to discuss today. So first of all, what is Panch Mahapurush Yoga and how it is formed? Let's see that. And it is one of the most auspicious yogas which is considered in Vedic astrology after Raj Yoga and Dhan Yoga. So first of all, Panch Mahapurush. What does Mahapurush mean? Mahapurush is the Hindi term for the man with great qualities, the man who possesses great qualities. So Mahapurush means a man with great qualities, and there are 5 planets which form this particular yoga. The 5 planets are Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, Saturn and Mars. These are the 5 planets which form this particular yoga. Rahu, Ketu, Sun and Moon. These 4 planets are not considered in this particular yoga and they do not form this particular yoga. So when this yoga is what is the condition when this yoga is formed? Let's see that. So when any of these 5 planets which I have told you, that is Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Saturn and Mercury, if any one of these planets is situated in the Kendra houses, only in the Kendra houses. Kendra houses are the 1st house, 4th house, 7th house and 10th house. These 4 houses, if any planet, if any of these 5 planets is sitting in its own sign or in its exaltation sign in the Kendra houses, then this yoga occurs. Then this Panch Mahapurush yoga forms in the horoscope, and the name for the Panch Mahapurush yoga formed for each planet is different. So for example, if in anyone's horoscope, like for Cancer ascendant, Jupiter is placed in the 1st house. Here Jupiter is exalted and 1st house is the Kendra house. So this forms a Mahapurush Yoga which is known as Hams Mahapurush Yoga. Jupiter, when this yoga is formed by Jupiter, it is known as Hams Mahapurush Yoga. When it is formed by Venus, it is known as Malavya Yoga. When it is formed by Mercury, it is known as Bhadra Yoga, and when it is formed by Mars, it is known as Ruchak Yoga, and when it is formed by Saturn, it is known as Shash Mahapurush Yoga. So these are the 5 Mahapurush Yoga which are formed in anyone's horoscope when any of these 5 planets are sitting in their own sign or in their exaltation sign in the Kendra houses in the horoscope. Not in Trikona houses or any other house, only in the Kendra house, and the necessary condition is that they should be placed in their own sign, either the Mool Trikona sign or the other sign, or they are in their exaltation sign. So for example, for Libra ascendant, if Saturn is sitting in the 4th house, this creates Shash Mahapurush Yoga, because in the 4th house it is in the sign of Capricorn, which is the own sign of Saturn. Here such yoga is formed. For example, if Mars is sitting in Capricorn for Libra ascendant, then it forms Ruchak Mahapurush Yoga, because Mars is in its exaltation sign and in the Kendra house. So this is the condition under which this Mahapurush Yoga is formed. Now, what is the result? The result of this Mahapurush Yoga is simply that the planet which is forming this yoga has the major influence on the person's life. The person will have major qualities of the planet which is creating this yoga. For example, if Saturn is creating this yoga, the major qualities of Saturn will be on the person's life. Like, person will be very organized, person will be very disciplined. Here negative aspects are not considered, because naturally this yoga is only occurring when the planets are in their good strength and good zones. because it is not formed when planets are in their debilitation sign or in their enemy signs. It is only formed when planet is in very good and healthy condition. So when planet is exalted or planet is in its own sign, then this yoga is forming. So this means that the nature of the planet is good. The planet is benefic here for the person. So the good qualities will be imparted on in the person's life. If Saturn is creating this yoga, for example, Saturn in the 4th house is creating this yoga, then this Saturn will aspect the 1st house through its 10th aspect. So this makes the person very disciplined, very organized. Person will not take rational decisions. He will think, then he will move. So these are the good qualities of Saturn. So this is how this same manner works for all other planets. If Jupiter is creating this yoga, it will impart wisdom to the person. With age, the person will become more and more wise. The person will inherit more and more knowledge. So this is how this yoga give results in anyone's horoscope. Okay. Now, what is the condition under which this yoga gets nullified? The yoga gets nullified when the planet which is creating this yoga is sitting with sun or moon. If sun and moon are sitting with any of the planets which are creating this particular yoga, Mahapurush yoga, then yoga gets nullified. Yoga bhang occurs. So when sun and moon are in conjunction, for example, if Ruchak Mahapurush yoga is forming, for example, for Aries ascendant, Mars is in the 1st house in the sign of Aries. Okay, and the Ruchak Mahapurush yoga is forming, but Mars is in conjunction with moon. So this implies that now Ruchak Mahapurush yoga is nullified. It is not the Mahapurush yoga now. Though the results will be different, the results will be positive and results will be very good and excellent, but the term as such of Mahapurush yoga will not be there. This yoga will be cancelled if sun and moon are sitting with the planets which are creating this particular yoga. Then you have to see whether any malefic aspects are also happening to the planets which are creating this yoga, especially of Rahu and Ketu. If malefic aspect of Rahu and Ketu is happening in the horoscope on the planet which is creating this yoga, then also the strength of this yoga gets very the strength gets very reduced. It decreases a lot if Rahu and Ketu are aspecting the planets which are creating this yoga. Now, when you are seeing this yoga, you have to see the degrees and nakshatra of the planet. For example, if Saturn is creating this yoga, Sash Mahapurush yoga is created by Saturn, and you have to see at what degrees the Saturn is placed in your horoscope. The degrees matter a lot, because at the time of fructification, the degrees are very important. The more the positive degrees, for Saturn it is 20 degrees considered. If Saturn is at 20 degrees, that is the highest point for Saturn. If it is at 0 degrees or at the last 30 degrees, 29 degrees, then yoga will not give such positive and good results at the time of its fructification. Okay, and the nakshatra you have to see in which the planet is sitting. For example, Saturn is sitting in the nakshatra of moon. So this means that Saturn will also give the results of the moon, because the planet, each and every planet sits in a particular nakshatra, and this planet, when has to give the results in person's life, it will be guided mainly by the nakshatra lord. First the nakshatra lord is important, and then the house lordship of that particular planet is seen. So nakshatra lordship is very important. See the nakshatra in which the planet is sitting. Then you see that in which sign, which houses are ruled by that particular planet which is creating this Mahapurush Yoga. Okay. For example, Mars is creating this particular yoga in Libra ascendant in 4th house, okay, in the sign of Capricorn. So here Mars is the ruler of 2nd house and 7th house. So see the houses which the Mars is ruling here, because when the time of rectification will come for Ruchak Mahapurush Yoga in the person's life, the Mars will also give the results of the 7th house and 2nd house through the 4th house. Each and every planet gives the results of the lords of the houses which it rules through the house in which it is sitting. So see the house which the planet is ruling here. Next thing which you have to see is, see the sign in which the Mahapurush Yoga is occurring. If Mahapurush Yoga is occurring in the exaltation sign, for example, let's take Venus. If Venus is occurring for Pisces ascendant in the 1st house, then Venus is creating Malavya Mahapurush Yoga. Here Venus is in its exaltation sign. So the exaltation, if planet is forming this yoga in its exaltation sign, then it is considered as one of the best Mahapurush Yoga. Second is when planet is sitting in its Mool Trikona sign. For example, Venus is sitting for Libra ascendant in the sign of Libra in the 1st house. Then it is creating Malavya Yoga, but in its Mool Trikona sign, which is Libra. And again, if Venus is sitting in the other lordship of his zodiac sign, that is Taurus, then the further strength gets reduced. So the sequential order for the power of this yoga is seen by the sign in which this planet is creating this yoga. If it is creating this yoga in exaltation sign, it's most powerful. Then if it is creating in its Mool Trikona sign, then it is powerful but not so up to that level. And on the 3rd level, if it is creating in its own sign, not in the Mool Trikona sign, not in the exaltation sign, the least powerful is that. Then the best results of Mahapurush Yoga are seen when planet is alone. No planetary conjunction, no planetary aspects, and the degrees and nakshatras are brilliant if are in good position. Best possible results of Mahapurush Yoga are seen in this particular situation. Then further you also have to see the condition of that planet in your D9 chart. If in D9 chart that planet is debilitated, if it is in enemy sign, if it is in Dusthana houses, if it is in bad conjunctions, then the efficiency, the power of this yoga gets reduced. Because when this yoga will start to give results in this particular situation, it will give you very good results in the beginning, but as soon as the time will pass, the results will start to decrease. They will not be so dominant and they will not be so much in your favor. So you have to see the condition of this particular planet which is creating this yoga in your D9 chart. That's extremely important. So these are the things which you have to see when you are analyzing this particular Mahapurush Yoga. There are 5 Mahapurush Yoga formed in Vedic astrology. So hence there is the name Panch Mahapurush Yoga, and each of the planets form different types of Mahapurush Yoga. The name I have told you, and for the fructification of this yoga you have to see the time period when your Mahadasha, Antardasha or Pratyantardasha of this particular planet which is creating this Mahapurush Yoga is about to come. Then the results will start to happen in your life, and the intensity of the results, the positivity of the results will depend on the degrees, the strength, the nature of the planet. If the nature of the planet is not good, the nature we will not consider here, because nature will be good because it is in its own sign, it is in its exaltation sign. but see the nakshatra and degrees. They are very important while analyzing the intensity of the results. If the degrees are not good, if the nakshatra is not good, the results will not be so much profound. Okay, so these are the things which you have to see when you are seeing Mahapurush Yoga, and at a maximum 4 Mahapurush Yoga can occur in anyone's chart, but in my experience I have never seen such type of things. Maximum 3 I have seen, 3 Mahapurush Yoga I have seen, but not 4, and 5 are not possible, 5 cannot be there. So this is how Mahapurush Yoga occurs, and these are the results what Mahapurush Yoga gives. So this was my view on Panch Mahapurush Yoga, and if you are new to my channel, subscribe below. For more information, check on my Twitter and Facebook page. Otherwise, we will meet in the next video with some more curious topic of Vedic astrology. Till then, goodbye and thank you.